Hi, I'm Dr. Marraccini.
I'm your professional fitness coach, Roy Jeffery.
And we are MenoStrong. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are going to do part 2 of the do's and don'ts as you are thriving through perimenopause. And we have already gone through the do's in the previous episode. And here in part 2, we're going to go through the don'ts. And we are going to start by introducing ourselves. I am fitness professional Roy Jeffery.
I'm Linda Marraccini. I'm a family physician and practiced for many years.
Right. And so we're going to jump right into this to talk about our first don't.
The first don't is, and this is no particular order, but don't ignore body signals, your feedback of your body to yourself. So what we mean by that is subtle changes. It might be just something is not right, just very nebulous. So when you see changes, start paying attention. You know your body. It's just like when we tell somebody, oh, if you see a mole or something on your body that wasn't there before, bring it to someone's attention. If you have a new sleeping pattern, something you're finding you're irritable, that's something to bring to someone's attention. And journaling it, great idea. So we're going to always ask you when you come in, how long has this been going on? It's just like when you have belly pain or something. We're going to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your pain? So the most you can quantify it, the more that you can do this, it's very helpful. So anything you can say, I sleep, I can get to sleep, not stay asleep. That's a question I always ask people as far as sleep changes. So irritable, things during the day, you find that something's different morning versus evening or afternoon, very helpful. Body signals, oh, I'm sweating more, things like that, I sweat at night. All those type of things are really, really important. Don't ignore them. You can put that on your list of things when you come into your provider, your physician, your nurse practitioner, whoever you're seeing, and it's very helpful. It helps us put pieces together.
Absolutely. That is one of the most important things I go through with my clients all the time. It's communication. You need to let me know that if we're doing something that you're having any kind of contraindications. You can't tell me, I said, oh, when I was doing this exercise, our last session, it was hurting my shoulder, and now I can't. Yeah, and you just kept doing it. But I don't know. What I always tell people is that the disposition that I have is I don't know how you feel when you're doing the exercise. I know what to expect, but I don't know that your shoulder's hurting if you don't tell me that your shoulder's hurting. I'm just going to keep training you and keep doing what I had set forth to do. But with communication, I can assess or reassess what the issue is, and we'll either stop the movement or we can just find another way of doing that exercise or working that area. And that's very important in particular because I've had clients that feel dizzy and don't ever tell me anything, and until I see them, their pupils dilate and everything, and I have to go from there. So now we have to address this way instead of you saying, hey, I'm feeling a little dizzy, so we can sit down and do it. So communication is important for me inside of the gym, but inside of the clinic, that's something else that could even be,
be dangerous.
Right. Very, very, very dangerous. I mean, you have kidney pain and you don't know why.
Well, I got it for you, Roy. This reminds me of one of our sessions, first or second session, where we said set the bar low.
Right.
And this is don't keep trying to please us.
Right.
So
right.
I am sure that with Roy and his sessions, you're trying to do a good job. You're pushing that extra weight to the point of hurting yourself because you don't want to fail and you want to meet his expectations. Same thing happens that you guys come into me. You guys cancel an appointment because you didn't lose the weight. I'm going to get mad, and you cancel the appointment. I've gotten better about that as I've gotten older, but we need to find out what kept you from losing the weight, working on your blood pressure. So when you see Roy, you've got to say, look, I'm sorry, for whatever reason, I just can't, meet these expectations. We have to sit down and go, why can't you meet these expectations? This is a big problem I see in practice all the time, and I'm sure it's a failure on my part that I set the bar too high. Mm-hmm. That's going back to like one of our episodes, that setting the bar too high, or there's extenuating circumstances in your life that kept you from being able to achieve this goal, and I'm not seeing it. But you have to verbalize that too. So you have to verbalize to Roy or your trainer that you have that, look, for whatever reason, maybe you came in to see him that day and you didn't eat right, you didn't drink enough fluids, and that's why you can't do it. Mm-hmm. Or you just got an impingement or pinched nerve, mm-hmm. or pinched ligament or tendon, and that you just can't do the exercise that day. Just say it.
Yeah.
We're all human. Believe me, we've all done stupid things ourselves.
Absolutely.
Or we've done things where we didn't verbalize it, to a professional or to our partners. So we're all human too. So you just have to say it. So number one, he doesn't have you hurt yourself, and I don't keep going on expecting impossible things and making you feel bad, because that makes you feel bad and it makes you feel like a failure. So we want you to succeed. That is what's going to make us feel better.
Right. Tell you, this was funny to me when I first started training, and me not knowing, I thought I was going to be training these men, athletes, whatever. Yeah, I was wrong. And I was getting all these women that I was training, and I remember the first time one said something to me about having a menstrual cycle, and I was like, Shonda, what? Are you telling me this? But that was so much important, because I ended up training other women that wasn't comfortable with telling me that, and they're going through cramps, and I got them jumping up on this and doing that, and it's just like really in pain, and I don't know. So I can adjust once I know that you may be having this issue or that issue, and it's very important, not just for me, but mostly for you. So yeah, just don't ignore the body signals and the feedback that your body's giving you, and share that with us. Very important. So don't not do that. How about that? All right. Number 2, our second don't is don't overdo cardio. Right? We all love cardio, maybe.
No. But go ahead.
But if you do love it, or if you do it just because you have to, don't overdo it. That's very important. Some people will overdo it because it's the easiest thing to do when it comes to exercise. And then you may get that runner's high or that walk high, and you're just constantly doing it because number one, it's going to boost your cortisol, higher than what it should be. And there are a number of other things that go on. But let's say if the goal is to gain strength with our strength training, to gain muscles, to protect the bones. If you do too much cardio, you're going to undo what we're doing there. Right? Because you get into a point where your body starts cannibalizing, and now we're fighting against what we had to do. I can give you an idea. If you know the difference between looking at, let's say in the Olympics, looking at the sprinters and looking at the long distance runners, when you see the way they look is totally different. The long distance sprinters, they're more leaner, they're more thinner, they have less muscle. But when you look at the sprinters, they're all like built, big legs, big arms, and they do a shorter run, which calls for other muscle fibers as opposed to the one that runs long distance. And they're burning a lot of calories, a lot of muscle by doing all that running, because that's what their sport asks for, as opposed to that person that does sprints. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because you want to be able to protect those bones. You want to be able to get that metabolism going and try to get it stabilized. You want to be able to gain muscle, which you lose at a very young age. You start declining in muscle, and when you don't work out, you even speed up that process. But by doing strength training, you slow up, and you're going to lose it anyway, but you slow that up. And by doing that, and you don't have to, be like you're trying to be a bodybuilder or anything like that, but we're going to do it with purpose so that we are doing things that will promote muscle gain or muscle maintenance. So it won't be the usual swinging of 3 and 5 pound dumbbells. That is so old school when people will walk and do that. You need to do something to stress those muscles. So no overdoing cardio. Let's do strength training, total body strength training. So that's my second don't.
Well, and the importance is being strong as you get older, because that's how you're going to age gracefully. That's how you're going to keep from falling. It's how you're going to help your core and your balance.
Oh yeah, core and balance, very important.
Well, we'll get into that more, of course.
Yeah, we have. So we got countless episodes of stuff, and we're going to talk about balance and exercises with balance and I can tell you that she's sitting over there like she ate the canary, because that's something that we work in. And so sometimes she'll come in and say, I want to work on balance. That's what I need out of my clients, that they want to be better at a certain area that they're weaker in. She knows, as a physician, the importance of her core balance, and that is fall prevention, because you're losing muscle, you're losing balance and strength in your core. And then when you're falling and getting ready to fall, hit the floor, you don't have the muscle strength to prevent the fall. So you just give way to the fall. And then other things happen when you hit the ground or you hit the floor. So that is very important as well. And I'm glad you mentioned that about balance and core
you also
strength.
can't get yourself up off the floor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny because I have a client that she came to me and she had lost a lot of weight when she had came to me, but in her heavier weight, she would never get on the floor because she couldn't get off the floor. And it was such a task. Mm-hmm. And even when she lost her weight, she didn't want to be on the floor. And we spent countless sessions on teaching her how to get off the floor. And, we would sit there like maybe 10% of her session doing constant up and downs, and she would roll her eyes at me and probably say a thing or two about me. But later on, she would tell me that she had to get on the floor for a reason, and it was so much easier. So that's important, being able to get off the floor and having the core strength to be able to do it. All right, so
take it away.
So number three, do not rely on Google and social media. Not saying that you can't learn anything, but one of the worst things you could, when you come to me and says, well, I Googled it and it says, and so Dr. Google and personal trainer Google isn't always 100%, and they cannot give you the feedback that you need. So don't rely on that for when it comes to your symptoms, when it comes to things that you're experiencing or that you're going through when it comes to perimenopause.
And for number 4, don't put off preventive screenings. So there's a number of perimenopausal and menopausal preventive screenings that we recommend. Sometimes people ask me, do I have to have a mammogram this year, or can I have it every other year? That's actually appropriate. Sometimes we don't always say that you have to have a mammogram every year. That is based on family history, your history, your examination. The examination is important. So that is up for conversation, up for discussion. So everything is not carved in stone, but I wouldn't put off all your preventive screenings. And there's a reason. For example, we've dropped colonoscopy or colon screening in this country to age 45 because of the incidence of colon cancer in this country, and it probably related to processed foods and the amount of plastics we have and things like that. So you want to have that discussion and see what's appropriate for you.
Okay, well, not doing the preventive screenings is very, very important so that you know what you're going into or what you're heading into when you do this, going through the perimenopause or anything else for that matter. And that's works well with myself, because if we go through a health screenings, the paperwork, and there's something on there that doesn't look right to me, or something that I better ask someone about this. It's protocol that I talk to your healthcare provider, or I tell you to talk to them about that particular issue. And if you put that off, or you do not discuss that with me, and then you say, oh, my back hurts, I have scoliosis or whatever, it's like, you didn't tell me that from the beginning. Like, we didn't know this. And it's important to be able to discuss those things. Last and not least, we have, don't let stress go untreated.
Absolutely. A lot of people internalize stress, or they think, oh, this is a temporary thing and I'll get over it, or whatever's going on with me or my family. It's got to be done before long, and then it builds up.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
You're biting everybody's head off. So it's important to stop it in its tracks, take a minute to reassess, change your course, reroute,
Right.
like on the GPS, reroute, and take some time to adjust and put it in check. And if you need help with that, you need to ask for help. And if it's somebody like a partner that can help you, great. And make sure you're talking that out with your partner, and don't underestimate the ability of your partner to listen to you. Sometimes you don't include a partner. You're trying to address it all by yourself, or if your partner's the problem, then you probably have to go get some outside help if your partner's not receptive. But don't let it go unchecked or untreated. It's only going to internalize and cause other problems.
What I don't want you to do
Yes.
is that I don't want you to use food as your treatment.
Or alcohol.
Or alcohol.
Yeah.
Any kind of drugs or anything like that. And some people, what they call a stress eat. And, will eat mostly sugary stuff or whatever that makes them feel better, that makes them come down from that stress. And I'm not saying that, hey, to just eat wood, enjoy life, but find more than just that to be able to treat your stress, because you holding that in, as my dad used to say, stress will kill you. It's just like, so you want to be able to, we spoke about this in other episodes, different ways that you can deal with it when we talked about exercise. May not feel like it, but dancing could help you deal with it, to help release these stressful hormones. Dancing, weight training, maybe if you take a boxing class or go running or walking, whichever one, they work wonders as well. Or, like, I always like to throw a plug in, do yoga. Yoga will help you to de-stress. Doing yoga, doing something more challenging that takes your mind off of that, breathing, but don't let stress go unchecked, because you're going to hurt yourself or possibly hurt someone else.
Well, I have to mention there, a lot of times patients say, I don't have time for the exercise, and they make time for everything else,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't schedule it. And yet that time, exercise, whether it's yoga or something else, it's time for you. And you'll feel good that you made time for yourself. So the exercise time is time for you. It's time that you get away from everybody else. And that's why it's good a lot of times to not do it at your house. Sometimes it's good to get out and find even an inexpensive class or something else that you can do, whether a yoga relaxation or Pilates or some class at a local center, that they have, like some general classes you can do. But it's your time where you can just chill out And that's time just, whether it's like getting your nails done or something else, but it's a twofer. You're getting exercise, but you're also mentally relaxing and physically getting some kind of exercise. So I have some of the busiest patients that really have unbelievable careers, and they make that time, but because they choreograph it into their schedule. So, it's really important because it helps de-stress them and helps them from killing their partner and other things.
Right, yeah. But I'm going to make this easy for you. I'm going to make this easy for you all. We said this before. Start the bar low.
Yeah.
All right? You want to start low. So one of the things that you don't go and try to start with a routine. Start building a routine. Let's say you take 1 day a week to do strength training. You should be doing more, but just take 1 day a week to do strength training. Take another day to maybe try a yoga class. There are different ways where you can get one at low cost if that is the issue. But try a yoga class another day. And another day, just go out and get yourself some stress release by going for a walk. Now, these days it's really hot, so make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you have your electrolytes. Just remember your body is made up of a lot of water, and water evaporizes in the heat, and it is very hot here. But make sure that you stay hydrated. Be smart. Don't walk at high noon. It's only time. Go when it's maybe a little cooler, maybe humid. But start that. Just gave you 3 easy things. Now I'm gonna go a bit further and say, for example, yoga. Did you know that my yoga studio is doing free yoga on Monday and Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. And if you want to know more about that, I'll drop that in the description. But it's in South Miami at the Gibson and Bethel Community Center. And I'll give the address of that, or I'll give you the contact information. But that's free. Go there and try that. Learn something new, because that also works with the brain. That also helps you de-stress, because you're not concentrating on whatever the stressor was at the moment, but you're concentrating on what you're doing right then and there, because you have to focus.
Forges new brain pathways.
All right. That's right. So set the bar low. We made it very simple for you. Free. Did I say again? It was free to do the yoga. So do 1 day of strength training, all right, with purpose. Do 1 day of yoga, free, and do a simple de-stressing walk or something like that, all right? And that's a very low bar for you. And then start building your routine, because one of those 3 you're going to really enjoy, and you're going to find that it does wonders for you, and you'll start building a routine out of that, like a routine getting your hair done every Thursday or Friday, or however it goes. But I have my routine to get my hair cut every now and then. So, but again, build yourself. Let your routine build itself as you start with a very low bar.
That sounds great. Good advice.
So, with that said, we wrapped up our do's and our don'ts. We could go over our don'ts again. Don't ignore your body's signals and feedback. Don't overdo cardio. Don't put off preventative screenings. And don't let stress go untreated. So we have shared with you our do's and don'ts for perimenopause. We will probably do a do's and don'ts for menopause as well. But we're here for you. We thank you for listening or watching the podcast. We do this for you. We'll be setting up nuggets. And you know what I think I want to do? I think I want to be able to find a way for our listeners to pull up a free workout plan, full body workout plan for 2 to 3 times a day. It'll be maybe a link or something like that. You look forward to that, and I'll make sure that I add that in there. So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to your comments. Please comment. That's the only way we can understand what's going on with you, what you want to know. Communication is key. We've already mentioned that. And we'll see you at the next podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate you listening to our podcast. Do us a really big favor and share this podcast with others. And you can do us a really big favor by being a follower. Follow our podcast, subscribe. Thank you so much. Until next time.